Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Not yet, but well, my good friend Ansel.
Yeah, oh, this is so cool, be here in your shop.
Yeah, it is. Another one of the fans coming to visit me, and what an honor it is. And God, nothing more exciting than not only meeting him, but he brought me amazing gifts. I mean, look at this burl. Can you see that? Brought me a few burls, so yeah, this, to say the least, is an exciting day. And what's this burl?
That's pecan.
Pecan. He brought me a couple of pecan burls. Huge! He must think that I have a monster lathe in the shop. But I will be turning some burls very good. Today I've been pretty much busy with that piece. It's been a little bit of a challenge, something different than I normally do.
Like sycamore?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I saw you saying you was going to turn some.
Yeah, so yeah, I picked up. It was just on the street. A lady cut a whole tree. I've gotten some maple from her.
Oh, okay.
This time was sycamore, very odd leaf. Yeah. So it's...
Yeah, now my brother had some sycamore he wanted to give to me.
Okay.
And I tried to turn some of it, but I had troubles with the end grain of it.
Really?
Getting a little fuzzy. So I had to constantly put a stabilizer on it in order to cut it.
Don't get me wrong. This was extremely wet. I mean, it was puddling up. It was puddling up on my tools.
Oh, okay.
Literally. I mean, it was just cut this week. So very green. If I put the scrape, it would be a puddle of liquid and gunk on the top of it.
Maybe that's what I should be trying then.
You know something? I mean, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you turn green, it's going to warp, it's going to do this. And yes, some of it is going to create its own character.
Yeah.
And I'll show you some of the works that I got. Okay. Things that I turned 4 years ago that I still have.
Yeah, I saw you post some of those before, and those were interesting.
And the point is, I let it, if it wants to develop, especially unless it's something with a lid, you know, like if it's something that has a lid and it has to stay fitted, then that's a different story. You know, you turn dry. Yeah. But if it's green, and you're doing whether if it's something natural edge, or you're doing something that has a little flair to the design, not precise, you know, where you're looking for that precise. Yeah. I mean, I love a bowl. If it's true when I turn it, and it decides to do a little wave on it, you can't do that on the lathe. So to me, I consider that to be its final stage.
Ah, okay.
Not something that, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, or I wish, you know, there's a couple of pieces I've lost. I've lost a couple of pieces, but I turned a lot of wood.
Yeah, I've lost, I turned a bunch of red oak that was green, and yeah, it really split bad on me, so then I let it dry out before I turned it, and it worked out a little bit.
The trick to turning green and not let it split on you is turn it thin.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you leave it a big chunk of wood, it's going to split. It will be like it's a log outside, and it wants to do what it wants to do. When you're spinning it, and as wet as this was, I mean, as wet as this was, at this point, I mean, if I put a moisture meter, it's still going to read quite a bit of moisture. But it's drying up pretty good because it's thin.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not going to warp a heck of a lot. It's going to do a little bit of maybe the edge, maybe this might become slightly obscured, but nothing that I would say, oh, you know, the piece is ruined. Nothing. Far away from that. So anyway, this is my shop. Let me shut this off for a minute.
Okay.
Well, hello my friends. My friend Ansel Warner over here brought me some gifts of wood, and we got a small piece of one of the burls that he brought, just a flat edge, and he's going to get his hands on turning. I want to see his approaches, how he does. I know his lathe is very different from mine's. He says he has a little bit of a problem once he gets inside the bowl, maybe with a little chatter. I think it might be associated with his lathe more than it is his approach, but I will see that and we'll go from there. It's going to be a rough start because I did the world's worst job cutting up a blank for him purposely just to test him.
Yeah, okay.
So there we go. We got it on the lathe, ready to go. No round it off. Okay, and we're ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Now, Ansel's been turning, what, I think 6 months, roughly?
6 months, yes.
Okay, not bad. And I gotta give him a couple of tips on this. Wood is pretty hard. Voila, all yours.
Lines on there. Should I just go softer
Yeah,
in order to get rid of the lines, or
now you're talking about like the dark and the light, or you're talking about these right here?
Yeah, those
Yeah,
right there.
that's a little bit of shadow that you're getting once you're coming in on this area over here. So you can get rid of that either with the same way, or even if you go with a scraper.
Oh, okay.
Use whatever tool you feel comfortable. But you can get rid of the majority of that.
Okay.
Try not to let the tool bounce. Even though the lathe is still bouncy, keep it a little bit less pressure into the wood. So you're just hitting the high spots and not allowing the tool to go in and out with it. So you hit that high spot, you get rid of it, and then you'll be through. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that's getting rid of it. I can see exactly what was causing it now.
What's that?
Whenever I do the transition,
Yeah.
I'm catching this little corner here,
Okay.
and it's leaving the lines.
That will do it. Yeah.
So if I keep it more on the flat, it gets rid of the line.
Yeah. And your scraper is your friend as well. Now some of the bounce you got in there is still because the piece is still rather heavy and side heavy.
Yeah.
And you got different densities.
Yes.
On the wood between what's here and here. So I probably wouldn't spend a lot of time at this point. I would lighten it up, start working with this, and then you can always still go before you finalize it and shave it, do whatever you needed to do to clean it up.
Okay. Let's see.
Up.
I gotta coming in.
Yeah.
To get rid of this, coming in like that.
Okay.
Give this a try.
Make sure that's locked. Okay.
And when I was watching you, I was noticing by keeping your
hands down.
This point is
aim in the direction that you want to be going.
Is that?
Right. Aim in the direction that you want to be traveling in. So if you're traveling in, your flute is that way. If you want to go from inside to the outside, then you're way out here and your flute is facing this way.
Okay.
In the direction that you're going to travel.
Okay.
Feel how the tool is reacting and make small adjustments. Up, down. Don't be afraid to adjust your tool a little bit. You can see what it's doing and how it's reacting the best as the cut is progressing.
Oh, okay. Well, it takes quite a bit off at one time.
It does.
That's great.
As soon as you get rid of that hunk, you'll be able to speed up the lathe, then you're going to be able to get some clean cuts. So don't be afraid to twist your tool accordingly without being drastic to make that adjustment to make the best find the sweet cut. Just stay aware of this arm, don't let it kick up. If you get a catch, don't let that jerk up on you.
Okay.
The tool is not going to snap. But and that's 980 RPM.
Let's see where that edge is. There it is. Okay. Just trying to get an idea of how far I got to go.
Right. Now, one thing, when you're coming out from inside out and you're coming up to the outside edge, you're always going to have a little chance of chipping it out.
Okay.
So it's going to require a lot of work. Not a lot of work, but you're going to have to do something different. So if you don't come all the way to the outside, but actually go from out in, which is just as easy, you eliminate that. You just find it.
Okay.
Now, whether if that's not enough or not enough, it's an option, but you can see that all of a sudden your whole edge is all clean without chipping. Or else you're always going to end up with maybe even blowing out pieces of the wood.
Okay.
Because you're coming all the way from inside and out. Always adjust to what you need to do.
Okay.
Never swing outside of your workpiece.
Yeah.
When you don't have to. Once you get it all trued up, always try to work in from outside in, and that way it gives you a lot more cleaner cut and where you need to be with. I don't need to take much. I just need to slowly speed my way up to the area that you want. Take as little or as much as you want. And then, it's a matter of you doing what you want it to do. Okay? When I can't take too much or else I'm going to stall the leg. So, just adjust. See, even at this speed I can stall it. But it's always a matter of making that little adjustment, see what's the sweet spot, and go from there.
I think. Nope, just a tad more.
Okay. So you saw what I was doing. Go from outside. Find it nice and easy with the pretty much the up and down of the edge of the tool.
Okay.
Aim your flute in the direction that you want to go. So if you want to go straight in towards the wall, you aim it that way. If you want to go out this way, you aim it more or less, or pretty close to where you need to go with the flute.
Okay.
And hold it. That hit the tip. So back up a little bit. There you go. Turn it slightly. Keep that flute in the direction that you want it to go. You want to go towards the bottom of the bowl, you swing the body way out that way with the tool.
Okay.
And the back bevel is your guide. It's your driving of the piece. Be careful. Be careful when you are coming up to an approach like this, where you're catching almost 3/4 inch of this. You hit that solid line, you're going to catch a nasty catch. So do step ups. Do from outside and keep going in a little bit at a time.
Okay.
But same idea. Aim it the way you want it. Do that little rotate and push. Straight towards the middle. As hard as you can, as the lathe can handle. Find a sweet spot. So if you're pushing it too hard, just ease up a little bit and let it find its cutting edge. If you start getting that channel like that.
Okay, so that's where I'm getting the channel.
Okay, if you start getting that channel like that, you have to do a little bit of an adjustment. I know I'm a little bit high risk, but you got to make a little bit of adjustment with your tool. It's not how hard you push. It's maybe the raising it up. You might be too low, which is way up on the top of the center. So make that adjustment and don't be as aggressive as you think as you were going. Okay? And instead of bottoming out over here, use the tip and walk it up. So come out here. Don't let it do the boss and start chattering on you. Back up a little bit and find it, and nice and easy. Nice and easy. Not more than what you do, but maximizing the efficiency of the blade. Maximizing. I mean, literally have to do it with one hand. So see the chatter? Back it up a little bit. Find it. Take less if you have to. And get away from that chatter point. Find it again. Get it nice and smooth and control it. Always make a little bit of adjustment. Always make that little adjustment and make the tool work without beating up on it. Yep. Bring your body further back that way and aim the point more towards where you're going. See if that's it. Because I'm not sure exactly what's going on there.
There we go.
That's a little bit of it. careful that you don't sneak underneath with the tool. You can lower it a little bit, but it's very easy for you to
get caught up underneath. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So on something like that, very light, just feather the edges. Don't push into it. Just feather away from it. Yep, feather away from it, Ansel. When you go into something like that, try not to get that bottom edge. Work just a tip. Just a tip of it. The front step.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Get that away from you. Because you get caught up like that, it's going to bring you up underneath. I've got my finger like that. Okay? Pull away. I'm keeping my hand stationary here and twisting out and using it like a compass. Okay? So same thing here. When I come in here, I don't have to think about what I'm going to be doing because it doesn't matter. They're all going to be cutting, but one of them is going to be the sweetest cut. Yeah. Okay, one of them is the sweetest cut. But you see my bevel back there?
Yeah.
I am right up against the wood. I'm not doing anything except the front is doing. Okay. Only the front is doing. If I turn it like this, I'm going to want to come away.
Yeah.
If I go like this, I'm going to come in to the inside. Okay. So, gotta find that spot, gotta find where you want it, and take it from there. Find that sweet spot, which direction you want to go, bring your body to where you want it to go, get it to ride against the back of that bevel, and follow that. If you're going too deep, make a little bit of adjustment and follow that back bevel pretty true to where the direction you want to go. And that's the same thing even if you're cutting up inside of your bowl. You aim that the same way,
and then you roll it,
and you do your turn up with against the back of the bevel.
Okay.
And that is true even to something like this.
Yeah.
Not quite as pronounced, but the idea is still the same. You do your turn rather than freehand. You do your turn is by riding the back and doing that, or else you're relying strictly on scraping all the way through. So,
okay.
I hope that helps, Ansel. I hope that I'm giving you some good instructions. It's hard to sometimes see where is it that somebody else is going that's right over.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start off to go a little deeper here. So.
Right. Before you go too far, before you even move any further, you play with your tool to see which way do you want it.
Which is going to cut the other.
Right, which way it's going to cut the best for you. And then when you find it, then you move forward.
Okay.
So don't be in a rush to move until you find that spot. There you go. Try to turn it a little bit more so.
You're right.
Keep it down.
Okay, there we go.
Still letting it bounce a little bit, but make that small adjustment.
I think maybe if I come back this way a little more. There, I got rid of the bounce.
Got it. Everybody back a little bit. Okay. You're not used to cutting too far away from your tool rest because as soon as you get a little further away, you start chattering away. But it's still all to do with how you're holding the tool or the angle. I really haven't pinpointed on what it is that you're doing. that's different from what I'm doing. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen what it is that you're doing wrong. Because I can come in here and dig in. See the angle that I'm at? Yeah. If I'm too much this way, it's just hard to cut, but I'm not getting the bounce. So I adjust it. There it is. See? No cut. There it is. Find that. And as you're going in, stop lessening it up a little bit because you're coming up a little bit higher and further away. You get that bounce? Stay in one spot and stay in one spot when you get that bounce and play with it until you find that you got rid of the bounce. See? Stay in one spot until you get rid of that shadow.
Okay, so let me over here first.
Yeah. Don't be in a rush. Roll away, Ruth.
Yeah.
Just a bit, but pull away.
There we go.
You can take as much of that center as you want before releasing the live center. I know soon you're going to have to remove the live center because you can't go can't go in the angle of the bowl because this gets on your way enough. You can still do a little bit of scrape if you want in there, but you know, I'll let you decide on that.
That one was a good run.
Practice a little bit more with that.
That was a good run. So.
Okay. As soon as you get bounced, stop pushing and play with the angle of the tool. Good. Stand up, no more push. Turn the tool a little bit. Turn and pull away now. Pull away. We don't need heroes. You know, you're not trying to get to the bottom in one fast. You're trying to get to the bottom in a safe manner and the best possible cut. But you know, I made a lot of tools when I first started off. Okay, this is a broken off drill bit.
Oh, okay.
Just sharpened it up, rounded it up a little bit, and did a negative scraper. Does a beautiful job scraping. It's not a gouge, it's not a bull gouge, but that does really nice. I want to show you one other that I got here. Oh, it's right over here. A cold steel chisel. Cold steel chisel.
Oh, okay.
From Lowe's.
Yeah.
Took out the flanged out part.
It's a nice hefty scraper.
Right. Same as any other tool. Look at the shape, the curve.
Yeah.
Okay, you ride it. You ride it like any other tool. Test that out.
Okay.
And not as critical on the angle that you put it in.
Ah, yeah. I can see by turning it, get
Yeah.
fewer,
Yeah.
get better trucks coming in straight.
Now that,
Ah, okay.
I made that in desperation for vases. Because
Uh-huh.
I didn't have bowl gouges. This is what I had, was an old Craftsman set and my Harbor
Yeah.
Freight. So to get into deeper reaches of vases and stuff like that, that's where I made these slightly heavier tools so I could get in there. So
Plus
it's a
that does
nice
seem to help get rid of the chatter too when you got a heavier, hefty tool.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Okay.
that's a nice tool. As a matter of fact, you can probably have a couple of the tools that I have here too. You'll find that it does the same. The idea is the same as what I was showing you with this of the bevel ride. You can get it with the bevel ride the same way as you did that. The only thing is you don't have the flute.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can ride that bevel the same way as you do with this or you do with anything else. And it's a nice scraper. And this edge lasts a long, long time. It's a cold steel
Okay, yeah.
chisel, so that's a nice tool,
Let's see.
a nice alternative tool. You might get a
Well, I
little
got
bit
this
of
one.
you might get a little bit of tool mark sometimes with it because
we can
you've
always
got to
do-
learn control on it.
Yeah. And then we can just always go back and smooth it out with
Yeah,
just like a
that
scra-
or the scraper.
yeah,
you know.
the scraper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead. Easy.
Yeah, I just did it a little too much at once.
It's the turn of the tool.
There we go. I got a catch there I'm going to have to take out.
Like any other tool, you can't really keep straight up with it. You almost got to give it that little bit of a bevel. There you go, like that.
That's getting rid of the line.
Use it on an angle, like that, yeah. Find it nice and easy, like any other tool. Find that sweet spot and carry it out. Nice and too much pressure. Ease it up on
I
it
think I let it drop a little too. There we go.
and keep that angle. Easy, ease up on it. Don't speed up. There you go. Nice and easy now. Just barely touching the wood. Barely touching. Just skimming over it. Still there a little bit, but not bad. All right. Yorkshire grit is really, it's a miracle product. It's a matter of putting just enough on your paper towel, spread it in, start rubbing it out at a low speed, 300 RPMs or whatever, and then speed it up accordingly as it starts disintegrating on you. It really is a beautiful. I mean, if I didn't use this, I would be using sand and sealer. When I first started turning, everything that I'm going to back up a little bit. When I first started turning, I wasn't using anything on my finishes. It was pretty much just going with the OB chartreuse. And I came across the paper bark wood, that Melaleuca stuff.
Yep.
And I tried, and I mean, I was going crazy trying to get a shine out of it. And no matter what I did, I could not get the piece of wood to shine. I had thin cuts. I had sanded it way beyond any piece that I've ever sanded in my life. And I would apply it, and no shine. So I posted it, and a friend on one of the comments, I think, it's like, oh wow, what kind of sanding seal are you using? So, no, I don't use sanding seal. I mean, I know what sanding seal is for. I know what it's supposed to do. It's like, no, I'm not using any sanding seal. It's like, oh, you know, you ought to try sanding seal. I used sanding sealer, wet sanded it. Everything I took from that day on had sanding sealer on it because that's the only way that I could get a finish on that wood. So if it did it on that wood,
it can do it on all of them.
on all of them.
Yeah.
So I was faithfully using sanding seal. I had a jar over here with a brush inside of it, and everything was wet sanded, real quick wet sanding. Since this, I haven't used the sanding sealer again.
Oh, okay.
It really substituted the sanding sealer, and the sanding became a little bit easier.
Now,
with this.
have you used this on that paper bird tree?
No.
Okay.
No. I've never turned that. I turned that when I first got it. Got that experiment. Figured out what went over the problem and converted it to sanding sealer. I turned a couple of pieces afterwards with sanding sealer, but once I started getting cherry and different woods, then I gave up on it.
Lines like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just a flat bottom bowl, you know.
Yeah, this adds a little bit. It just takes it away from the table. I'm not saying it's better or worse.
Just a different design.
Yep. Okay, here's the shine coming up.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, and really the only thing that I do at this point is take out that very base of that nut, and it's the same procedure that I used up to now. The only thing is, can't emphasize this enough, when you get into that bottom, slow down the way. I mean, slow it down.
With more practice, I can get it thinner and a lot better.
If you get a different instructor here, you'd be doing doing great.
Nice bowl. Now, do you have like a little round Rebel Turner sticker to put on there or stamp?
Well, I don't have a sticker, but I do have a stamp.
Ah, okay.
But seeing that it's your turning, I don't think it's appropriate that it has my name on it.
Yeah, I don't know. You're the one that was teaching me, so.
This takes a while to heat up.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so now just have patience. Put it down somewhere. 5 minutes. It really takes a long time. Was actually disappointed with it, and this is the finest one because I got a big one, and it's like, oh my god, I might as well sit here and heat it up for a week before using it.
I actually wound up buying it's for branding your steaks.
Right.
When they're on the grill.
Yeah.
So you set this iron in the coals.
Right.
And then you can brand your steak, rare, medium, whatever. But it's got a plate. You can put the letters in on the plate. You can write anything you want on it.
Really?
Pretty much. So I just write Ansel's Creations, and then stamp the bottom of mine using it. It works out pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then I started going with just Ansel instead of Ansel's Creations.
Right.
Because it comes out pretty good size if I have to do Ansel's Creations. So just Ansel, like that. Yes, sir.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, you don't heat it enough, you put it on and you realize you only burned a little bit of it, and it's hard to realign it. So.
Good. There we go.
Yeah, it worked.
All right.
I even got it scented.
Yep, that looks good. Nice and centered. Yeah.
What a good job. Well, guys, thanks for watching. It's Brandon as well.